I've been fortunate to live in or close by Worcester all my life. My wife Jill and I have lived in Woolhope Road since 1975. And one of the most attractive aspects of our home is the wonderful view we enjoy of the city and the neighbouring hills from our wide lounge window. For a few minutes, we're going to share something of this enjoyment with you. It's a fascination which extends beyond just the obvious view, as you'll see. Looking out, we experience vast skies, sweeping weather systems, seasonal changes, and, from time to time, passing hot air balloons and celebratory fireworks blossoming into the sky. Besides day-to-day changes of atmosphere and weather, there are changes to the urban landscape. Although the great cathedral appears immutable, other buildings have been demolished or repurposed and new ones added. We've an old photo taken from exactly where our house now stands, showing the same view around 1880. It's quite eerie to think a Victorian photographer stood here at that time. The scene was quite industrial, including the bottle-shaped kilns and tall chimneys of the Royal Worcester porcelain factory. Standing just off Bath Road, Woolhope Road takes its name from the small village of that name in Herefordshire, though the reason for the choice is lost in the mists of antiquity. Most of the houses are of late Victorian and Edwardian origin, with design features typical of the period, such as decorative doorways. Property deeds date back to those earlier days, and in some houses, builders and tradesmen left their personal mark over 100 years ago. Browsing through old street directories, we can not only trace occupants, but in earlier editions their professions and trades, which were also listed. As one might expect, many people in Woolhope Road lived locally to their place of work. Here are some examples of their occupations in the 1908 directory. They include fitters and engineers, tin workers, probably from Williamson's factory in Charles Street. The company was later taken over by the metal box. Millers from nearby Townsend's Albion Mills. Railwaymen. Shop assistants. Clerks and those in local government. A police constable and a police detective. Glovers from the many gloving factories. China painters and gilders from the Royal Worcester porcelain works. Others would have been employed at the vinegar works of Hill Evans or at Lee and Perrin's Worcestershire sauce factory. There were dozens of other trades and professions, all within easy walking distance. Aerial views show changes to the local scene, such as these from 2018, 1984, and the 1930s, where the Albion flour mill is prominent. Climbing 235 steps to reach the top of the 200 feet high Cathedral Tower, we can look south towards the Bath Road and the Woolhope Road area. In the 1880s, the view from the tower included chimneys and the distinctive kilns of the Worcester Royal Porcelain Works. Here's a picture of Percy Lewis, a master porcelain gilder at Royal Worcester until he retired in 1969, aged 84. The city's reputation for making fine china dates back to 1751. Prior to the 20th century, the east side of Bath Road presented a rural scene, which included a meadow complete with 3 hayricks. In the 1890s, with an increasing demand for new houses, Woolhope Road was made, running left to right about halfway up this field. Going back to older records, we can see that the patch of land that would become Woolhope Road stood at the outer fringes of Battenhall Park. This was an important location, situated close by roads leading both to London and to Gloucester from the Sidbury Gate. This fortified gate was set in the city wall, which encompassed the town. It's sobering to think that during the Battle of Worcester in 1651, opposing armies would have skirmished and fought upon the land where we now live, as it's near to the royalist stronghold of Fort Royal. Our view isn't only to be enjoyed for its sweeping vista across the rooftops to the cathedral and the hills beyond, but also a place where we can gain an historical perspective of our city. We are glad to live here